For this meeting of the Lewisburg Area Board of Directors, please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. We met in executive session for about 20 minutes prior to the meeting this evening. We have all board members present. And for anyone tuning in online, I will share that this is our first week where we are very happy to have all of our administrators here, but have not asked them to prepare any remarks. So we will not be hearing formally from them, though we certainly hope they will chime in as necessary along the way. And with that, we will turn to citizens' comments to the board on agenda items. We have no individuals in the room, but do we have any comments online?
No comments online.
Okay, then that brings us to the first item of new business, which is the election of PSBA officers. Hopefully we all had a chance to look at the slate of officers, and we all will have seen that there are no decisions to be made. There are the number of people for each office, that there are positions. In some cases that's one, and in other cases that's two. So we can just entertain a motion to vote for the slate of PSBA officers, unless there is any particular office that anyone would like to hold out and vote on separately. I guess I'll put it that way. Motion to approve the slate. Second. Moved by Dr. Jablonski, seconded by Ms. Stanton. Any discussion? Can that be, I guess that can be a voice vote?
I would think so.
Okay, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, thank you. And thanks as always to PSBA. All right, and that brings us to our next item, which is the approval of EduLink. Mrs. Moser.
Thank you. It's a piece of software, PAETEP, allows us to do our evaluations across the district of our teachers, our non-instructional professionals, our administrators, and our support staff. This particular product is a change for us away from the previous software we have used in most recent years in a direction that we want to move. It's more comprehensive. It does all labor groups in their yearly evaluation, and it allows us to move to the Danielson framework for evaluation, which is the state endorsed framework. So we ask for the approval this evening.
So moved. Moved by Dr. Jablonski. Is there a second? Second. Seconded by Ms. Lyons. Any discussion?
Do we have to pay that total amount every time?
No.
Just the first amount, is this the first year we have to pay that 6,000 and then after this?
And it's the setup and,
Yeah, okay.
the
That's good then.
implementation.
It's not going to be this expensive every time.
Any other questions or discussion? Then I'll take a roll call vote, please, Paul.
Dr. Jablonski?
Yes.
Mrs. Prowse?
Yes.
Ms. Lyons?
Yes.
Ms. Stanton?
Yes.
Dr. Unseger-Fisero?
Yes.
Dr. Zimmerman?
Yes.
Mr. Fetzer?
Yes.
Ms. Haynos?
Yes.
Mr. P?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. The next item of new business is the presence learning. That turn to you again, Mrs. Moser.
That's also mine. This is our access to the virtual school psych services that we want to keep as one of our options as we presently work without a school psychologist on site. This virtual system would allow access for our evaluations to be completed. It also has a component that would allow us to afford counseling for some of our students individually or in small group. What you're looking at is an estimate for one semester's use based on the number of evaluations our school psychologist has done in years past. We thought it was prudent to think one semester out and ask for the amount that it would be. I would also caution everyone to understand this is on a pay-as-use basis. So even as there is an estimated figure here attached to this agreement, it would again have the hourly rates that I believe were in a schedule that was also part of the information that you received. Stephanie, I wanted to say one additional piece. We've been able to start our year with some of our very first ones by accessing Mrs. Kramer in a contract arrangement. And Dr. Stephen Calbert, who resides here in Lewisburg, but serves in Danville. And so we'll continue to always also work to see if we can be utilizing others on an as-needed basis to continue as we continue to bring a school psychologist into our own district employ.
Motion to approve.
Moved by Dr. Jablonski. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Mrs. Kraus. Discussion?
I appreciate that it's fee for service and, you
Mhm.
know, it's based on utilization. I think that's.
Any other discussion? Then roll call vote, please.
Mrs. Kraus?
Yes.
Ms. Lyons?
Yes.
Ms. Stanton?
Yes.
Dr. Unsicker Fisera?
Yes.
Dr. Zimmerman?
Yes.
Mr. Fetzer?
Yes.
Ms. Haynos?
Yes.
Mr. Heath?
Yes.
Dr. Jablonski?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Our next item is the Dorfbob proposal, and that's you, Dr. Fairchild, and Mr. Gagos.
Yes, this is the proposal related to the PCCD grant that you endorsed at our last meeting. So we would ask that you approve this proposal that will be partially funded by our PCCD grant. The rest will come from capital projects, and we would ask that you approve it this evening so we can get it up and running and bring Kelly onto the same equal footing as middle school and Linton.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Dr. Jablonski, seconded by Ms. Haynos. Discussion?
This is one of those things like you have to do everything from list 1 before you can do list 2. That's-
Yes, and
Okay.
this is on
Got it.
tier, this is tier
Tier
one,
one.
list
Okay.
one, yeah.
We kind of have, I mean,
Any other questions or discussion? Okay, roll call vote, please.
Ms. Lyons?
Yes.
Ms. Stanton?
Yes.
Dr. Unsicker Fisera?
yes.
Dr. Zimmerman?
Yes.
Mr. Fetzer?
Yes.
Ms. Haynos?
Yes.
Mr. Heath?
Yes.
Dr. Jablonski?
Yes.
Mrs. Kraus?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. That brings us to new business, and the first item is the curriculum pilots for the 22-23 school year. Mrs. Moser.
Thank you. In accordance with policy 105, we bring information forward about pilots. Pilots for a school year often are those things requested after we've come forward with our textbook purchases and our curriculum writing and revisions. There are 4 pilots in the attachment that you've all had opportunity to see. Our brand new high school social studies teacher wanting us to pilot a new text resource, a tech book is here listed for you. Our ELL teacher working with secondary students is asking for this resource on a trial basis. And so that is there. At Kelly Elementary, where we typically do a lot of diagnostic and benchmark assessments of our students in both literacy and mathematics. These are products we already use, Dibbles for testing in early literacy, and our new Bridges Math series. We're in our 2nd year. What's available to us is an online database system that'll let us pull together this multiple scores and performance measures for our students, and that will certainly assist our MTSS efforts to work with our students and be able to see the compilation of their scores and work in that framework. The associated costs are there for you to see, and these would be the pilots that we want to try this year and then move from there either to adoption or not, based on how we assess their effectiveness in our use.
There a motion to approve? Or
And
just, that's
it's
just
just
information,
information.
just information. Okay.
It is,
I
thank you.
retract that.
Nope, that's all right,
All
thank
right,
you.
well, thank you. Any questions for Mrs. Moser about any of those pilots?
Does this replace the double books?
Yes, the students will read from a print piece, but the scoring will be done on an iPad and immediately fed into the database system. So it does save us the printing of
Yes,
multiple
that's a big
booklets.
deal.
Mhm.
Okay. The next item is the board president's report. I don't have anything formal to share, but I do just want to say how exciting it is to, be now fully into the school year. And I got to chat with some of you at the reception just before we met here and to hear good things about how things are going and to feel the excitement and the rhythm of the school year really taking hold. And I want to especially say how nice it was to see so many of the new faculty who came to the reception that we held for them this evening. There's just such a feeling of warmth and a strong sense of community amongst them, as well as between them and the administrators and the board members. And it's just, Lewisburg has always had a very positive sense of community, but it's exciting to feel that back in full force and to have had the opportunity to meet those people who we've seen on paper and haven't actually seen in person. So thanks to Mrs. Young and all those who helped to make that happen. And with that, I will turn to you for the interim superintendent's report.
All right, well, mine will start out as somewhat of a repeat, but I do want to express my continued appreciation, our administrators, our teachers, our staff, as we've begun this year. We are enjoying getting to know one another and establishing or reestablishing our relationships. We are settling into the routines and providing students with the security that comes from the continuity of routines. And we're enjoying some great learning activities even as we begin. Teachers have their rooms well prepared, students are engaged, and many parts of the school year are off to a very positive start. There's a very notable positivity across the buildings, and it's been a joy to be out and seeing that firsthand in my opportunities. We've had our initial administrative meetings, our principal leadership meeting, and our principals have begun their routines of having grade level meetings, instructional content area meetings, student support teams are functioning, our professional time. Each building's designated professional time has been put to use here as we are into our school year. I will note we're experiencing continued challenges with staffing, most notably cafeteria workers, custodians, and bus drivers. We know we're not alone in the struggle. We know there are statewide shortages and even nationwide shortages in some of those very key areas. We continue to look for the solutions, and we continue to definitely support our current valued members of those support staff groups. And finally, I included in your folder tonight our student enrollment information. We always begin a school year and know that we're a bit in flux. Families are still moving in, and we haven't yet even fully appreciated those who may have moved away from the community and withdrawn their students. Here at the 10-day mark is often when we can begin to get a better sense of how our enrollments have leveled out. So I simply share that with you tonight, as you can see at your places. Thank you.
Thank you. And that brings us to board liaison and committee reports. Anybody have a report to share?
No, we meet next week.
Okay. Okay, then that brings us to the consent agenda. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda, or is there anything anyone would like held up? Motion to approve. Moved by Dr. Jablonski, a second. Seconded by Ms. Lyons. Any discussion?
Letters F and G are not ongoing or anything, right? I mean, that's just a one-time thing.
Yes, correct.
Okay. Is there a reason they're under, I mean, it doesn't really matter now, but is there a reason they're under the consent agenda?
They
rather than
were
up above?
small repairs, replacements kind of thing.
Okay.
You know, happy to talk about them.
No, I was just, I wanted to
Once
make
every
sure.
20 years, you kind of
Right.
gotta
Okay.
make some replacements.
Any other questions? Okay, roll call vote, please, Paul.
Ms. Stanton,
Yes.
Dr. Unsicker Fisera,
Yes.
Dr. Zimmerman,
Yes.
Mr. Fetzer,
Yes.
Ms. Haynos,
Yes.
Mr. Heath,
Yes.
Dr. Jablonski,
Yes.
Mrs. Kraus.
Yes.
And Ms. Lyons.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. And that brings us to at 7:14 directors' comments. Ms. Stanton.
That was fabulous. I've got nothing to say. I really don't have anything to say.
Mr. Fetzer?
I just wanted to say, and maybe somebody recognized it before, I apologize, the past couple meetings have been a little strange with travel and trying to get back to Lewisburg, but Matt Brand from the Standard Journal has, I think, officially retired now, or is retiring shortly. I just wanted to say thanks to Matt. I'm assuming he's not on the Zoom meeting tonight, but thanks for his years of coverage of our meetings and just, all things Lewisburg. He was always great to work with, and I think did a very fair job at reporting without trying to, have the gotcha moments. So I really respect Matt, and I'm thankful for his years of service at the Standard Journal. So
Thanks.
I'm sad to hear that, but also grateful to Matt. I enjoyed seeing him here routinely at all the meetings and reading his coverage. I agree, Jordan. It's always very deliberate and well-rounded. I enjoyed meeting the teachers this evening, and the reception was lovely. Thank you, everybody.
I too would like to thank Matt. It was always nice to see him here every meeting. And he did an excellent job reporting on exactly what happened, which was greatly appreciated. And also welcome to all of our new staff or our new teachers that we saw tonight. I agree that they just seem to have a very upbeat, lively, everybody chatting, everybody talking, everybody connecting. And I don't know if, because we haven't been that way for so long, if it seems like it was like that, or it was just they're that group of people who are like that, but they are lovely, and I'm very excited.
I would ditto all the comments. I think walking away from that reception, even though I was a little bit late getting there, was very engaging. And I hope the students feel that way in their classrooms, which I think they will. The business teacher at the middle school, he was like, come see what I'm doing. It's very exciting. I was like, might have to do that. Yeah, Matt's gonna be missed. I think he should have had a name plaque that had his name versus just press, because he was very much a part of our team, I think, of getting the information out to people. And I do hope that he has a replacement, meaning that they come and get involved and know the good things that are happening, not just in Lewisburg, but around our area. Back in the day, we used to have 2 to 3 reporters here, and now having no one, maybe they're listening online, but it's just kind of not the same. So congratulations on his or good luck on his retirement. Looking at the numbers, it's exciting to see our cyber charter school numbers down a little bit. That excites me, encourages me to think that we're doing something right to get them back in school and get that live instruction. And hopefully that the kids coming back feel that way and are doing well so that they're transitioning back appropriately. I think that's it.
Thanks.
I think we're very lucky to get the great new group of teachers that we got, like really wonderful people. And I attended middle school open house last night. It was a lot of energy. Speaking of like being in person, doing those things again, I don't know if you recall, but the last time we had an open house, it was so hot, right? And Mr. Hausner was telling me about how when they would write on the paper, the pen would go through because the sheets were like so damp. So huge improvement there. And yeah, I'm just, I just can't believe how lucky we are to have the group that we have. So.
I don't really have much to add, but I can't help but to notice you're on the verge of shattering the standing meeting
It doesn't
record. So perhaps I should filibuster.
I was just gonna do it. I'm gonna read us some memoranda.
Anything to add?
I sound like I'm an echo tonight, but I did attend Georgia's middle school open house last evening. The numbers, the effort to bring 6, 7, and 8 in the same evening, the gymnasium where some spoke, and then the areas where each grade level could go. It was wonderful to see the turnout. It was wonderful to see the teachers represent themselves so well as they shared what their programs are. Again, I think it came off wonderfully, and I would be remiss if I didn't point that out as well. Thank you.
Sure. I'll just, I'm so glad that Mr. Fetzer thought to acknowledge Matt, and so I appreciate that. And I'll add my thanks to him for a job very well done for a long time. He did email me the name of his replacement. There is somebody, and I apologize to that gentleman whose name I do not recall, but there is somebody who will be covering our meetings for the Standard Journal, and Chris Benson for the Daily Item is usually listening in. And then I also just wanted to thank you all for being here, and we so look forward to hearing from you in detail at our next meeting. But I have to say, I mean, it's nice that it's only 7:20, but I haven't missed hearing what's going on in the building. So we'll look forward to that next time. Are there any citizens' comments on non-agenda items?
Nope.
Then I think I broke my iPad, but I think I can take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Second, all in favor, please say
Aye.
aye. Aye. Meeting adjourned. Thanks, everybody.